this meeting to order. It's the Buckeye Local Schools Board of Education meeting, Wednesday, June 29th, 2016. Special meeting at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Barco.
Here.
Selich. Here. Gunkelman. Here. Manson.
Here.
Stahl.
Here. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Which? Public participation. Is there anyone wishing to speak tonight? The public is invited to speak to any of the agenda items or other school topics at this time. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Direct questions will not be answered by Board of Education members at this time. However, answers will be given at a later date as appropriate. Anyone like to speak tonight? Yes, sir.
Neil Call, mathematics teacher. I just wanted to say on behalf of the teachers union, thank you, and we appreciate how professional you were in all our interactions, and to wish you good luck in your future endeavors there. And stop by other than copy there.
Okay. Would anyone else like to speak tonight? Yes.
Colleen Conley, York Township trustee. I'm also a pastoral minister at St. Martin of Tours. And I have to state that Brian Williams has been such an asset to this community, not only within your school system, but within our area churches. He's very brought back the baccalaureate program to inside the school, which is part of a good thing for everybody. I've got 2 grandchildren that go here, and as an elected official, I can say that the best thing for a board to do is to not have personal agendas for themselves, but to work cohesively as a board and with the superintendent. So I was very, very shocked to hear that Brian was moving on. And I guess if I would have been a board member, I would have said, what do you want us to pay you? But that's not going to happen. And I would also like to wish him good luck. And I want to thank him for all the times you've worked with the township and we've worked with you. And also through the Buckeye Area Ministerial Association and for these kids here.
Anyone else like to speak tonight? No one else? I'd like to move on to personnel items. Certified personnel. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following personnel item as presented. 1 is resignation. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation of Brian J. Williams, Superintendent of Buckeye Local Schools, effective July 31st, 2016. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anyone discussion? Roll call, please.
Gunkelman.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Selich.
Yes.
Manson.
No.
Barco.
Yes. Sorry. At this time, I'd like to ask that we add to our agenda for tonight's meeting. I'd like to add discussion and possibly decision on how we proceed with our search for a replacement for Mr. Williams. Would you like that as a motion? No? Okay. Hearing there's no objection, I'd like to add that. Okay. First off, we're going to need to determine if we're going to have someone assist us in the search. I think all of you have received emails today from 2 companies, or one company and one organization. The company being Ray and Associates, out of Iowa, was it? Yep, Grand Rapids, Iowa, who would like to assist us in our search. And the other one being the Ohio School Boards Association, who'd like to assist us. And I have also had conversations with the Medina County Educational Service Center to see if they would be interested in helping us, and they are. I have been involved in, I think it's 5 searches now, and all of them have been done through the ESC, and I felt as though they've done very well for us. But you've all got those other emails. Anyone have any comment on whether we have anyone to help us?
I'd like to do the ESC. Number one, it's cost effective. It's not going to charge us anything. Number two, the idea is Medina has already gone through their search. So we're kind of on a time frame, time restraints. And I'd like to be able to see what they have, the list of what they have. Start going from that list
Okay.
and maybe add into it.
Any other comments?
I would agree with Kim. I've been through the searches with ESC also. When we did the outside agency, by the time they come in and do a presentation and tell us how much they're going to charge us, we've got weeks tied up just in that, making decisions. And time is of the essence. And ESC is probably the best choice right now.
Any other comments?
I'm okay with the ESC. We've worked with them before.
Okay.
I would also like to talk to Medina, since they recently worked with them, and get their thoughts on the entire process, because they went through this recently and looked at firms that, just to see what drove them to the ESC and talk about their process, since it was a little bit different than ours.
Okay. I did have conversation with 2 of the board members from Medina in their process. I didn't ask them about the other companies, whether it's OSBA, why they didn't go that direction. Talked to them about the process that they went through. I talked to them individually, and the 2 of them had a little bit different take on it. One didn't think that the meetings at the beginning, where they had them in all the different buildings, that there was that much that came out of that. What they really got out of was the community input after they got down to the 3 finalists. That's where they got, that's what one board member said. The other felt as though going out and sending out the criteria, so everybody knows what they normally do is there's a gathering together of stakeholders in the community to come up with a criteria or attributes that they're looking for in a superintendent. And then those attributes, the board looks at those to help assess and determine which candidate's best. And also it's sent out to the references of the candidates, for those references then to rate them on those criteria. The one comment I got back is references all come back with 4s and 5s on them. So I don't know whether that's...
And I understand. I mean, I've talked to some people from Medina too. I don't want to rehash what they told me. I'd like them to come present to the board and talk to us, so we can, as a board, ask them questions about the process and everything. If they'd be willing to do that, I'm sure they would.
Or else we could go after a board meeting,
Or we could go to Medina if need be.
go to their place, so they don't have to spend their time.
But I'd like to get their opinion on, the companies, what drove them to the ESC, and I've spoken to some of them as well, but I'd like the board to hear their thought process. And also, if we're going to get some of the same candidates they had as well, I'd like to ask them some frank questions on some of their candidates, if that's feasible.
Okay. So are we making a motion as to one way or another what we're doing.
Well, I believe Greg Moran's on vacation this week, so if we can talk to Medina and get together with them, next week's a holiday week, we can get together with them, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then make a decision right after that. And I think Will said he'd be ready to go no matter what, because there's really not much for him to do.
Well, he's got his staff ready if we choose.
I mean, I have no problem with ESC, I just like to talk to Medina about their process and what they went through, and also, what they did it with ESC, but, what would you improve? Is there anything you would do different, so they can share with the board on that?
Do you want a resolution to hire the ESC?
To do it. The cost will be for the consumables, in other words, copying and mailing and things of that nature.
Do you have an estimate on what that cost could be?
Carol? Do you remember?
There was never a cost before, they never charged us for it.
Okay. All right.
They never charged us when they've done it in the past. So,
Okay.
they never have, but I'm not saying they won't now.
That's a question you can ask them, what they were charged as well.
Well, and because OSBA was $7,500 plus
Plus
expenses.
expenses.
So we would hope that any cost to us would be less than that.
However, we just have to, the last one, we had the Career Center, and all these other people came in their presentations. You have big fancy books and binders, and ESC came out with stuff off the shelf from Staples. It was a very tight budget.
Okay.
It was minimal amount of money. They watched your budget very tight.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to hire the ESC to assist us in this search.
So that the Buckeye Board of Education contract with the Medina ESC to help with Buckeye Board of Education in hiring the new superintendent?
Sounds good. Anyone like to make that motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Seselich?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Kunkelman?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes. So right now, what we're looking at is we're going to have to make a determination whether and this is if we have a meeting with Medina, and then do we hold community meetings to get the attributes ahead of time? How long are we going to leave open for applications to come in? Also, then we're going to have to set up, make a determination on whether we're going to paper screen the entire group or whether we're going to ask for any assistance on that. I know some of the other organizations would select it down. Then we'll have to start setting our meeting dates. The way I figure it, we're going to need to have meetings in order to get down to who we're going to interview. First off, we're going to determine how many we're going to aim at interviewing. If it's more than 6 or 8, then we're probably going to have 2 meetings. Then we're going to have the actual interviews, time to contact the references, then a meeting to narrow down to a final grouping, then time to contact their board members if they're working at a district now. Then the way that we've done it in the past ones, we've had community groups meet with the finalists to give their impression back. So we get input from that, whether it be teacher groups, whether it be elected officials, whether it be whatever the groups are that we want to set up. Then we're gonna have to get down to a finalist. Then we're gonna have to negotiate the contract, have a meeting to hire them, and then give them time to give notice to their current employer if they are currently employed. So this is, it's really a 3-month process, and we're gonna try and scrunch it down into a shorter period of time. And I'm thinking that we're going to be needing to think about an interim for a month or two, probably a month. But that's my opinion. Don't know what the rest of you think.
I don't believe we're ready for that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get the process started.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see us make a time frame, you know, something that we can all look at and agree on. And we do have to scrunch it. You can scrunch some things.
Yep.
And we still want a really good, strong candidate, too, out of the mix. But I don't think we're ready to say at this meeting that we need an interim.
I'll grant you that.
I think we just made the motion. We talked to Will Curran, actually had him come up with a timeline. And what he does, since he's done this before, and we're hiring them for the search, they should do the timeline and, you know, schedule a meeting with Medina as early as possible, and we can go from there. Once we talk to them, we'll give Will Curran's timeline back, and we'll see where we are, and then we can start making those decisions.
I don't think, I wouldn't go for an interim right now either. I think it's important that we have voice of the community. I think we could do that in one meeting. I think it's important that we have our teachers and our staff, our entire school system at another meeting, and they can talk to the candidates. And I think that could be done within a week or so. They can come back, let us know, and then we can move forward from there. Definitely, we're under a crunch. But I think if we start today and start the process, hopefully we can get it done.
Okay. So when do we want to start setting up meetings? First thing, Will's out of town this week. He will be back in next week.
The 4th of July is Monday, right? So, Tuesday?
Tuesday to meet with Will.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? What time you want to have?
Is there any possibility of doing it during the work day for Will? Rather than an evening? Yeah, it's fine. You can do it. What about you, Dennis?
It's fine.
And you can do that?
So you wanted to look at the 5th. And what time you want to set it for? Because I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know his
Bill's
schedule.
calendar.
Might I suggest like 1 o'clock in the
That's what I was
afternoon,
thinking.
so he can at least, that's just my suggestion.
You mean so that it's not 8 o'clock in the morning when he just comes back from vacation? 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Here. I'm certain he'll come out.
Do you want me to contact him, or you're gonna contact him?
I'll call him. And meeting with, try to set up something with Medina. Let's see. Medina schedule.
I believe Monday, every other Monday.
Barb, you should know.
Yeah, I should know, but I don't remember. Things have changed since I left.
Okay,
I'm looking on their website.
that's where I'm going to, so one of us might come up with it.
They meet at 6:30 on the third Monday of the month. There's no reason to meet with the whole board, is there?
No, just two of them.
Okay.
And that's the two of them meet on Tuesday.
Okay, we'll see. Skid ones that are present?
I believe he is.
I'll give him a call and see if he can gather 2 members to come in. And then from there, anybody have times when they're not available this next month?
I'm on vacation, but you don't need
I
me.
don't need you.
You don't, but I just want to make sure that Mr. Stahl will be here as secretary to take the minutes. Sorry.
When you get to yours.
I will be, any week but the 18th, I'll be on vacation, the week of the 18th.
Okay.
And you mentioned paper screening.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that we get copies of all of the applicants that are turned in. They want to be led down a certain path.
Okay. Any disagreement? Anything else at this point? Because we'll talk to Will, see if we can meet with him at 1 o'clock. Is there could I have a second time in case I need to cancel that time if Will's not available?
You mean a different day?
A different day.
Just
and-
the
and a
next day,
time.
maybe?
So Wednesday at 1 o'clock would work out? Would that work?
I'm not sure about it. Well, you've got a forum down this.
Okay, so right now, we're gonna schedule both meetings, and then we'll cancel one? Is that how we should do this, or how should we do it? I'm trying to schedule it in public.
I know. Well, you'll know, no, you won't know by tomorrow. You won't be able to get in touch with Will until.
Unless he
Monday.
answers his phone.
Will's the administrative assistant in all this schedule. She might be able to help you out.
Yeah, she might be able to help me.
All right, call me tomorrow, and then we will either schedule the Wednesday or the Tuesday,
Okay,
all right?
sounds good. Anything else? Board comments?
Well, I would just like to thank Mr. Williams for his work here at Buckeye. And certainly, I think one thing that you've done that we haven't really done before is all the social media presence you've put out there so that our community knew what was going on. So I thank you. I wish you luck.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian, and I think you did a really good job talking to the public.
And I'd like to thank you very much, Brian, for all that you have done. It's going to be difficult finding a replacement, but I'm certain that this board will spend a lot of time and do our best to find one. But thank you very much. Anything else for tonight? Do you have anything else? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mattson?
Yes.
Casella?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Councilman?
Yes.
Barco?
Yes.